Howdy, listeners and viewers, coast to coast, Gulf to Canada, and around the globe. So, this is a special little video. It's going to be short, 5 to 7 minutes. It's an adjunct to the larger weekly show, which is being posted almost simultaneously with this. This has to do with the attempted assassination of President Trump. So, I want you to sit back and I want you to think big picture. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to think outside your normalcy bias. This is a fog right now. You have media trying to spin it one way or the other, depending upon which side they're on. CNN began by saying Trump stumbled and fell, trying to equate it to stumbling and falling Joe, baby, President Cadaver. And virtually all the left wing media outlets, in other words, mainstream media, they're basically saying that they're calling it an incident. So is the White House. They're not calling it an attempted assassination. And there's an iconic photo, which I think is going to sum up where we are at as a country, where we are at in terms of defense of the Constitution, and where we are at politically. And I have it posted. They're posting it right now on all our social media, on the Right Side Radio at Facebook, on Facebook. I believe you'll see it on the ontherightsideradio.com site or an adjacent page. It's posted below this. I think that picture says it all, as does my caption. While Joe slept and changed his Depends, working off his ice cream, a real leader showed resolution, conviction, and courage. However, this is a much bigger picture. There's rumors flying everywhere. There were one shooter, two shooters, three shooters. I don't know how many there were, and I bring you facts. I don't bring you conjecture unless I tell you my opinion, or when it's really clear it's my opinion. Like in this week's show, where I kind of go off on a rant, which if you didn't listen to it or see it, you should, because it applies to most of you listening now. But what's really important about this is that in one way, shape, or form, no matter how many shooters there were, they were influenced by left-wing ideology. They were influenced by the calls, and there have been actual calls, for Trump's assassination by left-wing pundits and politicians. They are influenced by their ideology and their hatred of America. And that, my phone's been ringing off the hook here. And that, folks, is undeniable. Nancy Pelosi came out with a statement saying, "Oh, this political violence is so terrible. You know, I was a victim of political violence too." Remember when her hubby was hit with the hammer guy, or hit by the hammer from the guy there that broke into the house? Well, look, and they're both in their underwear, and I don't need to paint the picture for you, do I? I don't think that was political violence. I think there was a guy with a hammer who was jealous of Nancy because, he was, shall we say, more than just associated with Nancy's husband. Nancy's husband, by the way, who has profited to the tune of somewhere between $25 and $40 million on insider, illegal and corrupt insider trading from little tidbits Nancy has brought him about pending legislation and who's going to be favored and who isn't. But that is a tale we will go down, a rabbit hole we will enter in another show. What's really important about this, whether or not these are folks that acted on their own, whether or not they were influenced, as I believe most mass shooters are in the United States, by MK Ultra mind control technology for susceptible minds, go back to my shows on ontherightsideradio.com. Read the history of mind control. It will open your eyes. I mean, it will open your eyes. You will never look at an event like this again the same, ever. Whether it was instigated, in the shadows, in the dark recesses of the intelligence community, those 51 folks who signed the letter saying Hunter's laptop was a figment of our imagination and Russian disinformation, or who came up with the Russia hoax and played it to the hilt at the cost of hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars and God only knows what cost to the country. or whether it was in somehow instigated, inspired, and in the shadows directed by political operatives. I mean, that's really your only three alternatives. One, two, or three folks acting on their own, but influenced by their left wing masters, useful idiots who know how to shoot, or intelligence, or DNC. There goes the phone again. It is the bottom line of all this is that this is just the beginning. Do you understand? This is not the event. This is not the event. The event that they're planning to try and disrupt the election and make you scared, use fear as their weapon, as they did during COVID and with the COVID jab and all the rest of the nonsense. That event is coming. I don't know whether it's an event which will be triggered on some type of international basis, heaven forbid, because that probably means some type of nuclear exchange, which, by the way, I don't think they care about. They have their bunkers. Or another pandemic, as I brought to you in today's show about Redfield, the former CDC director, talking about there's another pandemic coming, it's going to be worse, or whatever it is. But I will tell you that whatever that event is, this, in one way, shape, or form, no matter which one of those three alternatives turn out to be true, and maybe we'll never know, this proves the point I've been bringing you. These people know they have committed treason. These people know they are felons. These people know, at least some of them, that they have committed crimes against humanity. And they know that accountability is coming. The terrible swift sword of justice. Remember the battle hymn of the Republic? Yes. So they have nothing to lose. A criminal who knows he's caught and knows that the person who will bring him to justice is coming has only one way to escape justice, and that is to try and stop the justice from coming by more criminal and illegal acts, and acts which are in contravention of the Constitution. And that, folks, is what you're going to see play out over the next 4 months. Like I said, the big event is coming. I suggest you should listen, you should watch the video of today's show. You should listen to the radio show, listen to the podcast on the rightsideradio.com. I'm not trying to get listeners. I'm trying to wake you up. Get off the couch. Get active. Get involved. Listen to my shows. Listen to other shows. Write a check. Write a letter. Make a phone call. Do something. Stop wringing your hands and thinking somebody's going to save you from this mess. You know, my father once told me, if you want a hand, you look at the end of your arm. That's a really good thought to have right now. And practice these words for the big event that's coming. No, I will not comply. Repeat after me. No, I will not comply. Here's prayers and wishes to Trump for speedy recovery, to the poor bystander. I guess there was at least one killed, one wounded. We have posted a video on the website. It's prominently posted, including under the audio bar. It's the best video I found of the attempted assassination. You can see where he turns his head at the last minute, which is why the bullet didn't squarely smack him in the face, and it grazes its ear. And take a look at the poor, attractive blonde gal sitting behind his ear, above him. Watch her face and watch her slump over. It is heartrending. But once again, big picture. Don't get mired down in the weeds. Don't listen to all the siren songs of this, that, and the other. The truth, or at least part of the truth, will slowly sift out. You probably didn't hear, but if you go on X, there was a tweet that got millions of views. Biden had some kind of telephone conversation with donors this afternoon and said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. I don't know if that's related or not, but that's what he said, and what happened with Trump happened with Trump. Maybe just a coincidence, although I'm not a believer in coincidences. What I am telling you is you buckle up because the big events are coming. These people have nothing to lose. In fact, they will lose everything if in some way, some shape, some form, they don't derail this election or derail the vote. And you need to practice the words, no, I will not comply. Read Lance Rosenthal on the Right Side Radio and on video, The Cowboys Take. Keep the wind at your back. We'll talk to you soon.